Hey there, everybody. Welcome to the Veterinary Marketing Podcast, where it's all about how to attract, engage, and retain clients to your veterinary hospital using digital marketing. My name is Brandon Brashears. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen. In today's episode, we're going to talk about the 6 ways that you can generate clients. And essentially, there's only 6 ways to do it. We're going to talk about how to generate more clients for your veterinary hospital, and then I'm going to rank them, in my opinion, on what you need to work on first. Most practices will typically only have 1 or 2 of these. So the more that you have, the more diversity that you have and diversification of those traffic sources, the better, in my opinion, just because you're going to be less susceptible to market conditions and you're going to be able to scale, and there's just a ton of benefits. Before we begin, I have just a couple of announcements. All right, if you also want to get any kind of help, a good place to do that is going over to the Veterinary Marketing Nerds Facebook page. It's a private group where you can collaborate with people, ask questions, get help with anything. That is facebook.com/groups/the Veterinary Marketing Nerds. All right, let's jump into today's episode. So there's really only 6 ways to generate clients, and there's not any kind of magic button to push. I think a lot of times people feel like there is some kind of magic lever to pull that will get you more clients. But let's just do a quick breakdown of the 6 types in this in-between episode. So number 1 is paid advertising. And paid advertising is pretty straightforward. It is anything that you pay dollars for to get eyeballs on. So that includes digital paid advertising, that includes physical mail, billboards, TV ads, radio ads, anything that you pay for to come in contact with either potential clients, current clients, or things like that. So paid advertising. Next, we have cold outreach, and that means you could go and stand at a dog park and hand out business cards. You could go to networking events. Basically, any time that you would go to find people who you don't know, you could send messages on the internet to strangers. That would be cold outreach. And so that's definitely a very effective way, but it's not scalable. All right, the next way is client referrals. Client referrals are my favorite because, number 1, it means that your service is good and that you have good quality in terms of service. And not only that, but you're probably going to attract people that are similar to the people that you love doing work with. So when I get client referrals, for example, they are my favorite clients generally because I love working with my current clients. They have friends and their friends are awesome because they're awesome. So client referrals. Next, we have strategic partners. That's other businesses that have the same client type that you do that you can build in referral systems with. And a good example would be a boarding facility if you don't offer boarding, or maybe a groomer, or maybe a pet store. The strategic partners are just anybody that would have pet owners that come and use them. It could even be like a realtor, for example, if you wanted to, right? Most people have pets in general, so it's pretty easy to set up strategic partnerships. Then we have organic media. So this is anything that you create and you publish on sites that you don't own. So blog posts, you technically own your website, right? But the traffic that it delivers is not owned because SEO is Google delivering that to you. We have organic social media, videos, YouTube, podcasts. This podcast that I've created here, for example, is a created media. So that's an option to generate clients. Hopefully you generate awareness and traffic, and the types of content that you'd be creating would be attracting the right customers. Then you have owned media, and this is any type of list that you own, whether it's text message, email, those kinds of things that you can push it out and immediately talk to somebody. With owned media too, it might be phone numbers. So you could that's not a cold call, but it's a warm call where you're calling your client list and going through. So those are the 6 ways that you can generate clients. And there's no other way that I can think of beyond that. And in my opinion, I think that the way that you should nail down these traffic sources, and I think it's always better to add more because, again, that diversification is going to keep you insulated from any potential problem that comes up when it's like market, recession, those types of things. But I think that number 1, referrals is the best thing to start at because, number 1, that means your service is good and you're going to attract people that you like working with. Number 2 is your own media list. So that's very, very important to not only build, but also engage with, because if you're not messaging your list on a regular basis, if you only do it in times that you need appointments, you're just going to be like that friend who is only calling or messaging you to come help move, right? You're actually a pest. So provide value and engage. Next would be partners, strategic partners. And the reason why I like that is because it's a high leverage event where you can set it up once and it will return for a long time. Then owned media content. I think you should be doing content creation, content marketing. It's going to not only retain your current clients, but also attract the right kinds of clients. Then we have paid ads. And that might surprise you since I do paid advertising for veterinary hospitals. And that's my favorite thing. But I think if you don't have these other things in place, paid ads is a little bit difficult. So just a quick note there. And obviously there's going to be rules and exceptions to every rule. So for example, if you're launching a practice, paid ads are a lot more effective way to get off the ground without having to do all of those other things. And then last is outbound. And the reason why I don't like outbound, cold outbound, is because it's just time consuming and not scalable, right? It might be effective, but most people in the veterinary industry are not door knockers or cold callers, and they don't like going out and cold messaging people. So those are the 6 things. I think that the more you have, the better. But if you have any questions, comments, or need help with anything, please don't hesitate to reach out, and we'll see you on next week's episode.